Archie, you bought this for me? Oh, I knew you cared for me.
As you care for me.
Can I open it now?
Yes, of course. Go ahead. My guess is you're going to like this very much.
Is that cashmere?
Of course it's cashmere.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
I thought this was going to be a lot worse.
Yeah.
What, as far as dressing up?
Yeah.
Gabe, a sweater.
A sweater? Sweater?
I have not worn a sweater since second grade pictures in grammar school, okay?
I had a feeling you would like it.
I got to try it on.
No, don't try it on now. Try it on later.
No, look. Oh, it fits beautiful.
All right, take it off. You're going to ruin it.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy, broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studios at the Avenue with Gabe Neitzel and Mark Chamorro. Here's Jen Latta.
Running her mouth, she wants to ride it, she's trying to hide it. I'm cool as ever, she's too excited. Her man look like he wanna fight. He ain't doing nothing but running his mouth. Talk about it, we all about it.
No, Jen, she's traveling to James Madison. That's where game day is going to be this weekend. No, Chewy, he's going to Ohio State, visiting with his daughter, and may or may not be going to the game.
They're at James Madison?
Yeah. Well, because that's the story of the year. James Madison undefeated right now
Correct.
in college football, but they're not allowed to play in a bowl game. Because the NCAA has a ban on 2 years, because James Madison used to be a lower level. They moved up to the highest level of Division I, and
Right.
you cannot play postseason for 2 years, which doesn't make any sense. Like, you're moving up a division. If you're moving down a division, that makes sense. But if you're moving up to harder competition...
I'm with you on
and
that.
so there's been a big battle about that.
But it's
so
been
they're
that
gonna
way
be
in
James
basketball,
Madison.
too,
Yeah,
I believe. Yeah.
But, I mean, which, again, makes no sense. If you're St. Thomas from Minnesota, you play up to
Correct.
Division I. You play good enough in that conference, you should be allowed to play in the tournament.
Right.
But,
because the reality is it's probably never going to happen, or very,
yeah,
seldom.
very seldomly, so who cares? So that is the voice of Homer. Homer, our cousin sub of the day. And we do have plenty of things to get into. Packers getting ready to take on the Chargers. Brewers announced their new manager, and their associate manager, I believe, is the title of Ricky Weeks.
Next manager.
Yes. Yeah, might as well just be next manager. But Homer, like, I don't know if this is an intervention. I don't know what this is necessarily going to be, but we got to talk about this, pal.
Sure.
Marquette has a huge game on Tuesday. And it's a great game.
I forgot about this.
It's a fantastic game. Like, I was glued to my television. And during the under-8 media timeout, you're firing off tweets about Jeff Janis and Bill Schrader?
Yeah. It's a timeout. What am I just out of curiosity? First of all, I explained this, that I always keep Twitter on during the game because
Sure.
they're the best people when you screw up or something happens.
Sure, or sometimes a lot of, if you're following media members for like a
Right.
Marquette game, Ben Steele might be able to, if they're watching
Correct.
TV
Yes,
and
'cause-
have a different angle, maybe somebody on television,
Right.
because
Well,
they always, the refs are always talking to the people
Right.
doing the TV games about decisions and those sort of
Especially
things.
at home, we're a mile away.
Yes. Yeah,
So
we were up
on
off the
road,
court.
We were close to it. I think you'll also know that I don't believe I ever comment on Marquette.
Yeah, you're firing off.
Correct, because I'm doing the Marquette game. But, yeah, people were surprised. I go, I got 2 minutes. What? I'm looking at it. I'm a big defender of Bill Schrader, historic Packer stuff.
Well, I mean, again, I didn't say that the take was wrong.
I understand.
Because Bill Schrader, I mean,
You're not the first one to make mention of that. I'm glad to know that people are following me. If they had followed, they wouldn't have been surprised. They go, Homer doesn't always do that, but depends.
Again, I've done 3 regular season Bucks games, right? So when I've done those games, I guess because it's a rarity for me to do those games. Like, I'm putting my phone away. Like, I am rarely looking at my phone, anything, period. I'm scavenging, kind of looking at the Bucks score, make sure I've got everything right. And you're just so comfortable, you're firing off Packer takes.
No, there's a pattern only during timeout.
Oh, yes, I know. You're not doing it like...
there's a timeout.
Yeah.
The first thing I do is check the stat sheet.
Okay.
See, what's happened is I used to do the stats of the game during the game, because then you're right on top of who's scoring and things like that. And
you had like your own stat book?
But yes.
So what were you keeping by yourself? Points, just points,
everything. Yeah.
Okay.
But you see who's hot, who's scored.
Yeah.
It keeps you, and then you're aware of just better. Well, now they have it up on the board, and at some point I go, this is stupid. It's just up on the board. So
Yeah.
during a timeout, first thing I do is check the stat sheet to see if there's any weird stat.
And I, kind of, if we're going to open up the window, I know Kent Sommerfeld, the on-site engineer, does a tremendous job. Like keeps track of runs.
Correct. He keeps track. This is the best thing that everybody should do. He keeps track of every basket, who scored it, and it's fantastic. The ability to, just give stuff that's really helpful. They've scored. It's a 19-2 run, or you watch a guy scored 7 points in a row. They give you that on the stat sheet, but it's not up.
Yeah, sometimes you have to dig for something like that. So having Kent there, kind of,
and then I'll go to Twitter.
If there's time left over, you open up Twitter.
I looked at Twitter to see if there's any response to the game. Like, hey, you messed this or Ben Steele. So like something. So I have all the available information, and then I saw that, and I go. Hey, I
have to it's a game featuring 2 top 25 teams.
It is, yes,
and it was a fantastic game. It was a close game. Like Illinois, especially the way they played in the second half, made it a close game. It's a tight one, nip and tuck, coming down to the wire.
Yeah,
and you defended Bill Schrader.
That's correct. Yes, I did. Bill should appreciate that. He isn't getting a whole lot of appreciation. I said this on Wilde and Tausch, Illinois. I'd wondered about them because I thought Underwood, the guy's a great coach, and I thought he might win a national title. He was going to do great, and I can't figure out what they do.
Yeah.
And they're still going to be good. They're going to make the tournament there, but there's and Tony was just a part of. Maybe this is why Tony was just like Marquette's fine. They'll win. They're okay. Like, well, okay.
But that's the attitude the team had as well. But again,
yes,
Is this a problem, Josh? Like the fact that Homer's firing off Packer takes?
People can say whatever it is, it's a problem. And I stand by everything as you do and stuff. If I screw up during the game, then it's a problem. Like, it's funny you have something like that. I'm really sad today because I really thought Brian Bulaga wouldn't agree to this crap. But he wants it. To retire as a Packer.
So this is something that Homer's
worst thing in sports. I hate it. There's nothing.
Why?
Because it's a lie.
It's nice.
It doesn't. Fine. Say he's Chinese. Say he's president of the United States and we'll sign a paper. He didn't retire with the Packers. This is made up. Give me a certificate that says I have a full head of hair. That doesn't mean I have a full head of hair.
No, that's a great idea that I might make up now.
I don't know. And see, I said to him, You wanted, I said, so let me just ask you a favor. When you get into the Hall of Fame, can you then rip this piece of paper up? He's going to be in the Packer Hall of Fame.
Yes.
Now, why do you want to retire as a Packer when you didn't retire as a Packer? I said, you want to retire as a Packer? Ask them if they'll sign you and go to training camp. You didn't.
Well, but so
they didn't want you, and now you say, okay, so just say I retired as a Packer.
So this is something that you have felt. I mean, Homer has felt
From
this for a very long time. But what teams are doing now, and you deserve a commission on, I have seen some teams are doing be a Packer, Brewer, Buck for a day. Yes,
I've said that. The Buck started it. Everybody should do it. Fans would love it.
Yeah.
Like, I retired as a Packer. I have every right. I said this to my wife, Nancy. You have every right to get that as much as Brian Bulaga. Exactly the same right.
No.
Neither of you retired. No. It doesn't.
Has your wife, Nancy, ever played?
Has nothing to do with that piece of paper that says he was retired by the Packers. That's a lie. Whether he's the greatest football player ever. It's a lie for name somebody else who didn't retire with a team who played. Johnny Unitas or whatever.
All this does is set the precedent for him to be retired and to make it into the Packers Hall of Fame.
Has nothing to do with that.
This is just a step-by-step process.
No, guys have been getting in the Packer Hall of Fame for 30 years and they didn't retire.
Give him a press conference. You be nice to him.
Yeah, okay.
Do you not like nice things?
Mow his lawn.
You anti-nice?
No, it's a lie.
Feel good?
Homer's very pro-truth.
Worse than that.
Are you anti-truth, Josh? Sounds like you're anti-truth.
Yes. And here's the big part. If you're, I don't know, some backup punter and you want to retire as a Packer, fine. This is Brian Bulaga, who's going to be in the Hall of Fame. He doesn't need this crap.
Yeah, because he's going to have...
He's going to be one of the elite players in the history of the team in a couple years. And he wants to retire a Packer even though he didn't retire. It came down to them deciding do they want him. They said no.
Pretty much, yes.
Yeah. But wait, we want you to retire as a Packer.
Does the fact that
Crap.
Brian's willing to do it and do a press conference? I believe he said he didn't really care, but he's still going
he does
through.
care. He was a part of it. No, I did my best to sell it. I said, will you do me a favor, and when you become in the Hall of Famer, then when you rip it up? He said, no. Well, I think the world of me. It's great to work with. I made my pitch, and he said, I'm not listening to you, so we move on. I did not do anything on Twitter. I will make no, not during a Marquette game, not after a Marquette game. I will never comment on Twitter. Even if people ask.
So the fact that Brian Bulaga, somebody that you now work with, he's on Mondays and Thursdays.
He's on all the time.
Yeah, you guys have been fantastic this Packers
He's good
season.
on Wilde and Tausch. He's good at everything.
So you've had a good working relationship. You enjoy working with him. You respect him.
Yeah.
So
it came up while we're doing the show.
Yeah, it came out yesterday. Yes, I saw the press release come across at like 5:15.
Breaks into the show, and says Brian Bulaga, and I went, "Oh my God, you could." And then
wait, so he
he didn't know it was going to be released.
Wait, so Bulaga didn't give you guys a heads up?
No.
I thought
Wilde called in.
I thought you guys were acting. I thought that was like a put on.
We don't ever act. I don't know what that is either. And so he was disappointed. He didn't know it was going to come out.
Yeah.
And then we had.
Wait, how do the Packers not tell him when it's going to be released?
Yeah, it seems like an important party.
Clearly, when you think he's so important, you retired him. You
would be like, "Hey, Brian, press release is coming out at 5:15."
And then Jason sees it, and he calls in, going, "Oh, great, thanks, Brian. You didn't tell me." And I go, "Fine, you can interview him now for this worthless piece." If you want. And
so the fact that you respect and enjoy working with Brian Bulaga doesn't change your position on this at all.
I tried to tell him it's stupid.
Yeah.
And then I said what I thought I had a chance. When you're in the Hall of Fame, then you can rip up this piece of crap. And he basically said no. He wanted to do it, or his parents are coming, and it's a big deal to him. So
I'm going to try and say something here in the least offensive
to me.
Yes.
It's not possible because I think less of you that you don't agree with me.
Have you considered maybe spending your time and your brain power on something worth it?
This is worth it.
No, it's not.
This is a
you
lie.
are fighting a losing war.
I know,
Nobody's
fine.
on your side.
No, people are on my
Nobody
side.
cares.
Teams have picked it up.
Yeah, teams have picked it up.
No, I'm not going to support lying.
I don't know if teams are on Homer's side necessarily, but they found out a way to monetize it and make people a Packer or a Brewer or a Buck for a day.
Yeah,
where you can do that, which is basically what Brian Bulaga is doing.
Correct.
With this, where he's a Packer for a day.
Exactly what the.
This changes nothing about what is held in the press conference and what it means to Brian and his family and to Packers fans. It's a fan gesture. We all know that.
No,
but
is it a fan gesture?
No,
I think it's a player.
It's a player gesture.
Yeah, but he's speaking too, so everybody gets to have the feel good of Brian Bulaga, Iowa, the legendary Packer, gets to come back, retire as a Packer. They hold the press conference. There's a whole
it's more for Brian and his family than anybody else because you can still have that press conference and he gets to talk when he goes into the Packers Hall of Fame.
Yeah, it's just more Bulaga.
So this is for Bulaga and his family. And if he's decided it's important to him to do this,
then so be it. But I'll fight it forever. It's stupid. It's stupid. It's a lie.
Will you call him a liar on the show Monday?
No, I basically asked him to consider.
Yeah.
And I mean, you can listen to the Wisconsin On Demand. It wasn't like I didn't bring it up. Brian, this is crap. It's just a made-up lie. I want to do it. And then I said, okay, how about when you become in the Hall of Fame? I said, if you don't get in the Packer Hall of Fame, I'll donate $50,000 to the charity of your choice to emphasize that you're going to get in.
Yeah.
Now, when you get in, will you get rid of this garbage? He said, no, we're going to keep it. Okay, I'm done.
What did he say when you offered $50,000 to the charity of his choice?
No, it's like typical Brian Bulaga. Sure. He's just the best. Yeah, if I don't get in, I get 50 grand. Good. He didn't address, he's just so, I guess I'd say it's Iowa. He has no discussion of his greatness. It's not that it's uncomfortable. It just doesn't factor in. Like every game was a play, and every game was being better, and every game was doing this, and so the discussion of being in the Packer Hall of Fame. He didn't say, I don't want to talk about it. He didn't say, I'm not going to get in. He just, okay, fine, 50 grand. I don't get in.
Jason Wilde going to be joining us next to help us break down Packers Chargers coming up in just a little bit. But get perked up. Let me tell you guys about Perky's Old Fashioned. It's an old-fashioned mix with the booze already inside. They've got brandy, bourbon, and now for a limited time, cranberry brandy options. You can get Grandma Perky Secret wherever, whenever. Again, all you have to do is add the soda if you're a sweet person, sour person. And this is going to be great. This is going to be a hit. We're less than a week away from Thanksgiving. I know you've got your family gatherings coming up. If you want to be a hit at those family gatherings or friend gatherings, whatever you're doing, make sure you grab a bottle of Perky's Old Fashioned and find Perky's near you. Go to perkysoldfashioned.com. Perky's Old Fashioned, locally made, Wisconsin made. It's your bartender in a bottle.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy continues next on 94.5 ESPN.
Well, the cars are behaving for the most part across the system this morning. Just a little light volume through the construction zone south of Capitol Drive on 43 northbound. And we're still working on clearing up that earlier crash on the off-ramp to Good Hope Road from 43 south. Otherwise, again, the rest of the system very nice this morning. Light volume and full freeway speeds. And a check of the storm team forecast for today. Sunny skies in the afternoon. Much cooler than the rest of this week. A high today of just 48 degrees. Clearing cold overnight tonight with a low of 32. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Adam Roberts on 94.5 ESPN.
ShowtimeFloors.com. Write it down. Put it in your phone. ShowtimeFloors.com. If you're ready to upgrade the concrete surfaces in your home, then ShowtimeFloors.com is here for you. It's used by military bases, airports, businesses, and of course residential homes too. Floor Shield is designed to beautify and protect concrete surfaces. Plus, it's eco-friendly and non-toxic. So if you're pulling into your garage or you're pulling out of your garage and you're seeing cracks and you're seeing uneven surfaces, it is time to call my friends at ShowtimeFloors.com. Enjoy a 15-year warranty against wear. Find offers of up to $300 off. $300 off, guys, just by going to the website. ShowtimeFloors.com for more information and those discounts on Floor Shield right now.
This is the sweet, sweet sound of you crossing off your holiday list at Festival Foods. Turkey? Check. Crowd-pleasing side dishes from the deli? Check. Fresh baked pie? Check. Better make that pies. Check. We know the holidays can be hectic. We'll be here for you all season long. Festival Foods. Happy to help.
Are you kidding me? Gas prices are up again? Somebody has to do something.
Well, someone did. That's why I use Upside.
Upside? What's that?
It's a free app that pays you real cash back for every gallon of gas or diesel you buy. I just earned 25 cents back on every gallon of this tank.
Hold on. So the Upside app is free and you actually get cash back every time you use it? No strings attached?
Yep, it's awesome. And it only takes a couple of minutes to sign up.
Instead of just watching your dollars go into your tank, start putting money back into your wallet with the free app from Upside. With the price of gas today, it's big news and big money. Frequent users earn an average of $340 per year that can be cashed out right to your bank account, PayPal, or as an e-gift card. Upside users have already earned over $500 million in cash back. Download the free Upside app to join them. Use promo code FOOTBALL for an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first fill-up. That's code FOOTBALL. Use code FOOTBALL for an extra 25 cents per gallon back in your first fill-up.
Tito's handmade vodka is so good and smooth, you can mix it with anything. Now, here's out. If your usual brunch cocktail sounds like a Tito's Bloody Mary stacked with garnishes is more like Tito's. Sounds pretty good. 40% alcohol by volume, namely 80 proof. Crafted to be savored responsibly.
Circa Sports is now available at American Place. Bet on your favorite Milwaukee and Wisconsin teams, from Wisconsin football and basketball to all the Milwaukee basketball action, as well as more games nationwide. The Circa Sportsbook at American Place has 36 TVs, so you won't miss any of the action. And it's just 30 minutes from Kenosha and 45 minutes from Racine. For more information and to find out about their events, go to circasports.com. All Circa Sports bets must be placed in Illinois. If you or someone you know may have a problem with gambling, call 1-800-GAMBLER or text GAMB to 833-234.
Ready, down, hunt, hunt, hunt.
Packers all the time.
Theoretically, you could certainly draft another quarterback now with the holes you have on the roster and the fact that you just seem committed to drafting defensive players in the first round.
Okay, most of the time.
Almonds specifically or all nuts?
Well, these nuts, those nuts, whatever nuts work.
It's Jason Wilde on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. Brought to you by Boucher Automotive. With 16 different new car brands and over 35 pre-owned brands to choose from. Boucher Automotive. We are driven by you. Also sponsored by Sentry Foods. Win $700 in groceries from Sentry Foods as Sentry celebrates their 70th anniversary. Find the weekly code on Sentry's Facebook or Instagram and enter to win.
He is our friend. He is our teammate. He is Jason Wilde. He joins us 3 times a week here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. Although, how many times is Jason on with you, Homer?
He's on twice.
Twice a week?
Yes. Now, he's not on with me. Brian Bulaga, his show. And on Thursday, he said, I want Jason Wilde on.
Okay.
So Jason Wilde's on. And Brian Bulaga asks questions. He and Jason does not like that. And he'll keep mentioning it every Thursday just to make sure that I don't forget.
Well, what a treat for you, Jason. You actually get to talk to Homer instead of Brian Bulaga with Homer listening.
Yeah, I don't like the new setup at all. I understand that it's a 1-hour show now, and he's got John Anderson and Brian, but I will say this, and Gabe, you and I love to talk about this and love to irritate Homer with it, but I will continue for all of my days that the now 69-year-old Uncle Homer is the GOAT of Wisconsin sports radio. And one of the greatest things that I've gotten to do in my career, and that's not hyperbole, is that for a very, very, very long time of it, I was on with him every single day, and I do miss that. So I will take whatever I get with him.
And I just want to say that I'm looking forward to Brian Bulaga kind of having a show or kind of being more like Tauscher. And I would hope one day he says, it all started when I got to talk with Jason Wilde.
So there's a part of Bulaga that likes to, because for years, Jason was the one asking him questions. Is there a part of Bulaga that likes that the tables have turned and he gets to ask Jason questions?
I don't think he really likes it. I don't think it's
no,
not
Homer's
like
doing it because it's best for his development.
Yes, that's correct.
Okay.
And he's getting better at it.
Yeah, as I have told Brian many times, though, I do find it funny. Like, he's doing a press conference today to celebrate his retiring as a Packer, and I've told him this a bunch, so I'm not talking behind his back. He was not great with the media for a good chunk of his career. He was really good toward the end, which is the exact opposite of Tausch, who was great at the beginning, and then when he came back in like 08, 09, 10, it was really hard to get him to even come out of like the training room or
why
wherever
do you
he
think
was.
that is? Now that you know him so well,
I think he'd had enough.
Oh, okay.
I think that's why. And he was. I think he knew that his body was starting to break down a little bit, so he had to do everything it took to be able to play. And he played at a really high level in 08 and 09, and was playing really well in 10 before he got hurt. So I never begrudged him for it. Bulaga just didn't really want that attention early in his career, and then he kind of became, toward the end, a real elder statesman for the offensive line. So it was great when he did that. He won one of our Mully Awards, Tom Mulhern Award, which we give to the stand-up guy or guys each year. It's going to be a tough vote this year, I got to be honest. But he became really good and was a precursor to him. He is terrific, whether he's with Homer or he's with Tausch and me, or I know he's going to be live in person at the Tundra Trio for Green Bay game day pregame on Sunday. So he's doing great, and Homer's doing a great thing to help him improve and develop. So I just miss talking to him every day.
Jason, injury report looks pretty good. Only one player was a DNP yesterday. That was Rudy Ford. So, Jair's still a limited participant. Kenny Clark, a limited participant. How do we feel about, I guess Jair would be the biggest one on here in terms of didn't play last week, is he going to be able to play this week? And given the quarterback for the Chargers coming in here in Herbert, you'd think you'd want Jair Alexander available.
Yeah, especially against Keenan Allen, who is tied for the NFL lead in receptions. I think he's fourth in yardage, fifth in touchdown catches. Yeah, look, I talked to Jair for 1 minute and 12 seconds yesterday. He made the mistake of coming into the locker room while we were still in there, and there was a huge group talking to someone else, so I just made a beeline for him. And I did at one point ask him, do you get the sense that your head coach is frustrated with this? Because that's kind of how he sounds to me during his press conferences. And there's definitely something not quite right there, for sure, between the two of them. And he said, I don't know, I don't really talk to him about this.
What do you think it could be?
I don't know, but LaFleur then yesterday, when Bill Huber from Sports Illustrated said, hey, you guys aren't going pads this week at all, how are you going to know if his shoulder is ready to play or not? And LaFleur's response was, got to trust the medical staff and the player. And anytime a player is referred to as the player, which has happened a few times in my career, think about Brett Favre as the whole saga was going on in 2008 as well. I never take that as a very positive way to refer to the guy. So that I found curious as well. So again, something not quite right there, but if he's able to play, that would obviously give them a huge lift.
But so I guess that's interesting. So there was some thought from Chewy heading into the season that with the job being different for LaFleur, would he be able to rein people in? Because Aaron Rodgers kind of had free run. And once people see that, it's tough to rein that in. And given his answers around the David Bakhtiari knee situation, which Bach ended up getting knee surgery and is out for the year, and given the way he's kind of handled this Jair situation, both very similar, kind of the irritation level from the head coach at the podium, could part of this be that the very few veterans that were left on this team are struggling to adjust to the young players in the way that LaFleur is handling all that?
Yeah, I mean, look, I don't, first of all, let me preface this by saying I don't know, right? So this is purely my conjecture of what's going on. I would say that in both those cases, and I don't know, maybe there are others, right? Again, he hasn't expressed frustration about others to my, at least in my memory, but those two are you're right. Those are both examples of him clearly being frustrated. I find myself wondering, again, let me emphasize this one more time, because next thing you know, there'll be a story about Jordan Love wanting to be traded. The way it feels to me is that Matt LaFleur knew with such a young team, he was going to need the very best, both in terms of how they play and their attitudes, their leadership, etc., from his veteran players. And the Bakhtiari thing, I think there was at least some of that was just legitimate frustration that, hey, we have one of the best left tackles in football, and he's not available, and I'm not sure I understand why. And this does feel a little bit like a rerun of that with Jair. The other part of it, though, frankly, is that I just think Matt LaFleur is frustrated with the team that he has. That, he feels like he's the one who draws all the criticism, and once the season starts, Goody disappears. He talked to us once after the trade deadline. I can't imagine knowing that something was amiss with Jair Alexander at the time of the trade, that he was real happy that he traded Rasul Douglas. So again, I believe, and I have no evidence to prove it, it's just my belief, that there is waxy Bill, what do you call him, shoes, Homer?
Well, no,
between,
I can tell you.
Between the GM
this is
and
how
the head coach.
I know. This is how I'd feel if I was LaFleur. My career's being destroyed, and there's nothing I can do. Okay, it's going to be everybody's opinion that Aaron Rodgers made me, and I'm losing games, and I'm not sure anybody's going to ever hire me again. And I don't have any defense. There's nothing I can do. All these things are happening. My career is being destroyed, and there's nothing I can do to prevent it. Wouldn't you feel that way if you were LaFleur?
Yeah, and again, that does not absolve him.
Correct.
Or whatever.
I'm not even saying he's 100% right. I'm just saying these are all examples.
That's how I would feel too. Yep.
And I don't know what I do. What do you do if you're LaFleur?
Well, apparently you get frustrated and you kind of let that show, and that's not probably the best game plan either. But yeah, I think leave it to the GOAT to describe it perfectly. I think that's. I didn't put it in those terms.
Well, and he's going to get next year.
Perfect term.
He's going to get next year, but now he's thinking like you're thinking. How good can we be next year?
Right. Like I think you nailed it. And again, I don't know that he did. He stopped by in the locker room yesterday while I was waiting to talk to players and asked how the radio show went this week. And we stood and talked for a little while, which was fun.
You don't have to hear it from him. I was just asking you, Jason, as Gabe said, isn't that how you would feel if you were him? All these are examples of, I need some help. This is all just falling apart. I'm being unlucky. I got nothing. Anything I asked for, I didn't get. So, okay, next he's going to go, Jason, can we talk? What do I do?
Yeah.
What can I do?
Yeah, I mean, if you think about it, the other veteran that he had and he was going to lean on is Aaron Jones, and Aaron Jones has either been unavailable, limited, or ineffective. Like he's had one really good game and one decent game, and again, he did another thing that was out of character for him. Right? We talked about this on Green Bay game night. Like the fact that LaFleur publicly twice after the game on Sunday criticized Aaron Jones for not getting out of bounds. That would, again, indicate he's behaving in a way that we're not familiar with him behaving. So what does that tell you? And it tells me that he is having a hard time with the way this season is playing out and the team that he is coaching and the general manager that he works with.
He needs a weekly show with you. That's what he needs. That's what he needs.
Oh, therapy for sure. To talk this stuff through. But and you're right. Even if that's not the case, if you were in that situation and you put yourself in it, that's how I would feel. So you're exactly right about that.
Jason, we always appreciate the time. Look forward to hearing more of your thoughts coming up on Wilde and Tausch. And Homer and I will talk to you on Green Bay game night after the game on Sunday.
I look forward to all of that. All right, guys. Take care. Be good.
See you, dude. Yeah, usually it's Dude Friday. I don't know. I mean, it's still Dude Friday, right?
Yeah, Homer's a dude.
Homer's a dude.
Okay.
That's
better than
not a very dude attitude.
I'm learning on it. I think it's way better than saying that I was going to retire or sign a piece of paper. But yes, I'm not. You're not a dude at 69. If a guy says he's a dude at 69, I look at him and go, dude, it's over. You're not a dude.
All right, we'll put that on the poll. And
yes, can you be a dude at 69?
Yes, we're putting it out there.
Maybe Bob Uecker.
Bob Uecker was definitely a dude at 69. We'll ask Craig Carmesin that question coming up next here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
More Jen, Gabe, and Chewy coming up on 94.5 ESPN.
We've got a new incident on the roads. It's on 894 right as you're heading into the zoo northbound. A crash blocking the left lane. All the vehicles are moving over to the right side, and I expect we'll see some backup start to extend south of Greenfield towards Lincoln Avenue. Be mindful as they work to clear this thing up. Again, the left lane blocked on 894 north as you're heading into the zoo. Other than that, the rest of the system overall still looking good. We do have some volume starting to build up on 43 south, right around Capitol Drive. And a check of the Storm Team forecast for today. Increasing sunshine, much cooler than the rest of this week, though. A high today of just 48 degrees. Overnight clear and cool with a low of 32. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Adam Roberts on 94.5
Change your
ESPN.
grocery game plan to locally owned Sentry Foods, home of the best meat, freshest produce, and tastiest treats. Now through Wednesday, save on 6 to 8 pack selected varieties Coke products or AHA sparkling water 4 for $17. 12 rolls selected varieties Scott bath tissue $10.99. 48-ounce selected varieties Kemp's ice cream $3.99. 1%, 2% or skim gallon selected varieties Prairie Farms milk $3.99.
Look at those brats. You do tailgating right. Absolutely. Did you see the spread out there? You've got enough food to feed the entire lot. I'm splurging now and then hoping to win $700 in free groceries. $700? Yeah, it's all part of the 70th anniversary at Sentry Foods. No kidding. Next week, I'll do the shopping. Maybe I'll score $700 in groceries. All you need is the weekly code. It's on Sentry's Facebook or Instagram. Oh, I just remembered. I'll be out of town next week. Yeah, right, cheapskate.
Ends January 3rd.
Right now, the prices of diamonds are probably the lowest we'll see in our lifetime.
Diamond prices are low, low, low. Here's why.
It was hard to meet new people during COVID.
When a person meets their soulmate, they usually get engaged about 39 months later.
People started dating again only about 36 months ago.
Most of the people who got engaged during COVID
or immediately after COVID
were already in a relationship before the COVID lockdown began.
The Wall Street Journal even published a story about all of this.
Low sales of engagement rings created a worldwide oversupply of diamonds.
But now, engagement ring sales are beginning to pick up again.
By the end of next spring, this temporary oversupply will be gone.
And diamond prices will start climbing like crazy.
If you ever wanted to own a big diamond, this is the year to do it.
Find the Kesslers nearest you
and see our extended holiday hours
at KesslersDiamonds.com.
If you want to own a big diamond, the time is now.
Hi everyone, John Miller here from PDS, a Converge company. PDS has been providing technology solutions and transforming IT for area companies for over 30 years. Today, we are helping organizations integrate digital workplace strategies that are giving today's worker the true ability to work from anywhere as they balance work and life both securely and productively. And as HP's largest partner in the area, our combined solutions have never been more important. If you're struggling with this, know we stand ready to help. From ideation to transformation, we can help you evolve your work from anywhere strategy. Learn more at pdsit.net.
WTMJ's Vince Vitrano here. A couple years ago, my knee was acting up. As an athlete, I've played through pain before, but it was getting to the point where I couldn't compete in the sports I loved. I decided to check out Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. It's the best decision I've made. I felt no pressure to have surgery. That was important to me. We had choices. I ultimately did choose to have a procedure. I was in and out in just hours and back in action shortly after. I recommend meeting their doctors. Visit orthowisconsin.com today.
It's Friday, and that means it's time to check in with GKB President Craig Carmesin.
I am so impressed with Jordan Love, and I think Packers fans should feel so good about Jordan Love.
Fridays with Mo.
I think Rodgers never spoke out and was direct, and Giannis should be praised for being clear so that everyone knows, hey, Giannis told the organization what he wanted.
Craig Carmesin on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
It's Friday, gotta get down on Friday. Everybody's looking forward to the weekend. Friday, getting down on Friday. Everybody's looking forward to the weekend. Partying, fun.
Craig Carmesin joins us each and every Friday here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy, but we have no big guy. We have no Jen. Both are traveling for different college football reasons this weekend. So our cousin sub of the day is Homer. Catch him part of the Homer Hour, although somebody else is doing the Homer Hour today because you're traveling to Hawaii.
Flying to Hawaii, yeah. I really wanted to go on Tuesday or Monday when they play, but
yeah, that's kind of tough to pull off.
Cost money. No, I could have done it, but my wife wanted to go and spend a couple days in Hawaii.
There you go. Craig, can you be a dude at 69 years old?
I think so, because I was listening to the Homer Hour yesterday when the Brian Bulaga news broke, and the way Homer just to Bulaga's face told him what a joke it was that he was retiring as a Packer. That was a dude move. So whatever age Homer is, you could be a dude. I was literally I had the biggest smile. I was laughing out loud in my car because so many people these days, there's so many hot takes that people have. And Homer had the opportunity to have one of his takes happen live with his co-host, who was actually like all emotional about like this honor that he was kind of bestowing upon himself with the Packers. And Homer was literally in the moment telling him it was worthless.
But now give people the full story, because I then asked him, when you get into the Hall of Fame, which you will you then get rid of this garbage?
Well, he didn't say he'd get rid of it. He just said it was bigger. That, of course, the Packers Hall of Fame is one of the biggest things ever.
Right, but he said basically, no, I'm not changing anything. I want to do this. Okay.
Yeah, I'm saying Homer's calling it garbage, where he's like, my entire life's come 360. It's how I became a man and developed my family. And Homer's like, no, it's garbage. It was hilarious.
I did also give him the final chance in the final segment to explain why Green Bay was special, which was cool. So
yeah. No, that.
But
no,
everything Chris says
you
is
like
accurate.
ripping on him while.
And I said I did it more than once. I just didn't mention it once.
Craig, where do you come down on people retiring as members of an organization that they once were a part of and were a big part of, but then ultimately left at the end of the career?
I'm a lot closer to Homer on this one than I am to other people. I think there's probably something else, like some other way you can do it, like the way people do it with personal services agreements, because to me, that actually is more meaningful. Like if the Packers announced yesterday that they were signing Brian Bulaga as a Packers ambassador who for the next 3 to 5 years or however long was going to be, representing the Packers around the state and around the country, like to me, that would actually be meaningful along with his retirement, rather than saying he's retiring as a Packer. Because I, like Homer, I kind of don't know what that means.
You just came up with a great idea. I think that's fantastic. And people kind of exist. Leroy Butler, you feel like he is James Jones. But yeah, it would be a great way to show their respect. And Wisconsin did it with Ron Dane for a while, kind of.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's people they do it with. I think it's kind of clouded in secrecy. I wonder if part of it is like, if they announce who they do it for, then like, well, why aren't you doing it for me? I played 7 seasons. I was a defensive back. That guy was a wide receiver. Like, I know it could be tricky, but on some levels, the idea of retiring with the team, I don't know. It's always felt kind of hollow to me.
All right, we keep talking about it. So let's just go ahead.
Obviously, it doesn't to Brian Bulaga, which again, all praise to Brian Bulaga and the amount of injuries and everything he gave to the Packers and the Chargers.
Craig referenced it, so let's go ahead and listen to it. This happened live last night on the Homer Hour. Brian Bulaga on the show Mondays and Thursdays. So the Packers sent out a press release yesterday announcing that Bulaga is going to be retiring as a member of the team.
How do they send out a press release while he's on the show? Why not announce it live on the show? Like that. I mean, that part I didn't. I guess Packers may not want to announce stuff with us. I guess maybe that's the point. But I mean, why not release if it's an honor for Bulaga have it on his show?
All right, here we go. Here is what it sounded like when the news broke, and apparently Bulaga didn't even know it was happening yesterday either. Here's what it sounded like yesterday on the Homer Hour.
And it paid off. Oh, hey, now this is some breaking news.
Sorry to interrupt you, Homer and Brian, but we got a little news here. A Packers press release just issued. Our own Brian Bulaga retires as a Packer. According to a press release here, former Packer Brian Bulaga, who was with Green Bay for 10 seasons, has informed the club of his decision to retire with the Packers. The announcement was made Thursday by General Manager Brian Gutekunst.
This creates me in a bad position, Brian, because I think it's a joke. I've hated it always. You didn't finish as a Packer. You finished on whatever team you were with, and if the Packers would have wanted to sign you and play on the team, but I'm not going to treat you any different. I believe
you don't have to.
I know you don't. You don't care, do you? You're happy to do it.
I don't.
No. Did they approach you or did you approach them?
It was something that we've been talking about over the last year.
Oh, that's two things now. I got to get you to finish get a college degree, and I got to get. Look, I want every fan should be able to retire as a Packer, and then they can make a lot of money and put the name on your jersey.
Well, I looked at it, I look at this for me as, full circle. At least for me it is.
Okay. It's a nice sentiment.
Drafted there spending 10 years there, winning the Super Bowl
You're
there.
going to be in the Hall of Fame. But, sir, you did not finish your career with the Green Bay Packers. And it doesn't mean diddly. You're going to be in the Packer Hall of Fame, right?
I'm about to, though. That's what you're missing. I'm about to retire as a Green Bay Packer. Yeah.
You can sign you can sign saying that something that you're Chinese.
I think my favorite part about that is that they break in the news and immediately Homer goes, "Oh no!" Like we have Bulaga before he can make a comment. Homer's firing off his take about how it's trash. I absolutely loved it.
The best part is I don't know if it's narcissism by Homer or what, but his co-host is getting an honor that he clearly values and sees as a big deal, and Homer's first reaction is, "Oh, this is putting me in a bad spot." If you listen back, literally, his co-host is getting this emotional, incredible honor that the Packers to him, again, I'm not saying to Homer, to him, that the Packers are putting press release. And before Brian Bulaga can react, Homer says it's putting Homer in a bad spot.
See, I wish to give you credit because if I could do it over again, I would say, first of all, congratulations. And then, you're right, Craig. I needed a congratulations in there first. Excellent point. I'll work on that the next time.
I would not. I think that's when it's time for you to hang it up. I think literally if you congratulate him first, I'll be like, Homer's lost a step. When I was listening to that, that was the best part that you didn't even you literally thought the announcement was about you. I mean that was the most incredible thing. There's two co-hosts on the air. There's breaking news from the Packers, and Homer thinks the announcement's about him when it's literally about his co-host.
But this is a take that Homer's had for a long time. Homer has held steadfast in these beliefs. Yep, that's how it was 100% about him.
Yeah, exactly. That's why it was incredible.
Oh, it was better than I thought it would be. Listening back to that audio, it was fantastic.
They stopped it because we then got into me saying, okay, fine, you'll do this, but when you get into the Hall of Fame, then you'll rip or stop this. He goes, no. He was...
Yeah, because then he talked about his kids and all this stuff, and Homer's like, "Yeah, no, it's fake. It's fake. You could be the president of the United States if you want to be, but you're not."
Accurate.
Craig, why are fans? It just seems like, and maybe it's just a small portion of the fan base. I just don't understand the impatience with the Bucs early.
It's awesome, dude. People used to not care about the Bucs. You lived here your whole life.
Yeah.
No one ever cared about the Bucs. No one cared about the first 10 games, the second 10 games, the fourth 10 games. This is what having a real fan base is about. So, to me, this is exciting. I want fans to care about these games and to want to understand why the team could go to Toronto and get their doors blown off by a team that, maybe a play-in team or not even in the playoffs. And then it's interesting to see the way the schedule works out, that you go back a week or two later without Giannis, and Dame has a historic game for the franchise. This is interesting. And it's exciting, and I guarantee nobody at the end of the season will be talking about the first 10 games and how the Bucs played. We'll all be talking about the last 10 games, but this is part of the process. And I think it's a really good sign when an ownership group invests the way this one has gone so over the top in every single way possible to keep this team together, to build, to try to raise the ceiling that this team has, that fans then have really high standards.
I'm just a little concerned about some of the comments that Adrian Griffin had after the game on Monday, talking about a little black cloud following them around and, these guys are trying to buy in, because if people are trying to buy in, that means they are not bought in, correct? And that just makes me a little bit concerned.
Or that it takes time. I think this is all preseason.
I think parsing the words of a first-time head coach who's been interviewed more in the last month and a half than he had been in his 20 years as a coach or whatever it's been.
But it is preseason.
Okay, so we don't have to parse that, okay? We can throw that away. I don't think you can throw away, there's a little black cloud following us around. There's no parsing there. That's not, no one has ever said that in a positive connotation.
That's true.
Yeah, I'm not going to get into the black cloud. What I'm going to say is the offense isn't what people would have wanted it to be through the first whatever games. The defense isn't what anyone wanted it to be, and that's part of a process, right? You had a high-level coach step down right before the season. You have a new person running your offense. I mean, it is a completely new, entity, and there's a lot of change. And they're running a new offense. They've run multiple defenses that are new over the course of the start of the year. I mean, there's just a lot of change, right? Like Dame Lillard's going through, it's been public that Dame Lillard's going through stuff in his personal life while moving, while doing all this stuff. Like there's a lot going on, and it's a long season. And if you look where the team is in the standings, they're 2 games out of first in the entire conference. I don't think we need to worry that they've set themselves back at all.
Plus, I think Lillard is more than willing to give it. He gets it. This doesn't matter. It's just calm down. We got, how many games left over to be ready, because his season doesn't start until the playoffs, because that's when he was brought in, and that's where he wants to excel and given an opportunity he's never had before. So I think more than anyone else, he's more than comfortable being slow at this going forward.
And my argument has been that we have never had a postseason where we've been able to execute offensively in the half court in the way we need to, including the championship year. And the team has always been very different in the playoffs than it's been in the regular season. And Dame Lillard being on this team is the first chance we have the opportunity to see if that can change dramatically.
Craig, always appreciate the time. I look forward to talking to you again next week, and I look forward to the first ever person to come back to GKB and retire as a member of the team.
Yes, it will be Homer, I'm sure. All right, thanks, guys.
Thanks, Craig. Craig Carmesin joins us every Friday here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. Change the way you do business and take more control of the payment process with Fifth Third Bank's Treasury Management Solutions. Their market expertise and managed services streamline the entire payment process and integrate with your existing systems, which give you more control than ever. With their suite of payment solutions, you will soon recognize new revenue sources that can save time, offset operating costs, and improve the bottom line. All customized for you and your business. Fifth Third Bank, National Association. Custom solutions built around your goals. Member FDIC.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy are back after this on 94.5 ESPN.
Now I'm going to talk about Celsius. Have you tried Celsius Energy Drink yet? With 7 essential vitamins, it is the clean energy drink that you need to stay active and energized all day long. Trust me. On a day like today, when I was up at 2:45 dealing with this cold that I cannot kick, I'm going to need a Celsius. Probably at around 9:03. But I digress. You can find Celsius at your local retailer. Stay active and energized all day long with Celsius Essential Energy Drinks. Celsius Essential Energy Drinks.
Life's better with an auto policy from American Family Insurance. No matter what dreams you're driving towards. That's because our expert agents will make you feel totally protected with the right auto coverage at the right price. You'll also save up to 23% when you bundle auto with home. American Family Insurance. Get a quote, find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Are you tired of looking at a dirty, dusty, and cracked garage and looking for a fresh new look? Hi, this is ESPN Milwaukee's Jen Latta, and I'm here to tell you about Floor Shield by Showtime Floors. Using a state-of-the-art coating 4 times stronger than traditional epoxy, it's tough enough to be used in military bases and airports. Floor Shield is certified as an anti-slip floor and also eco-friendly, all while being UV stable, and my favorite part, easy to clean. This makes it perfect for outdoor spaces, just like your patio. Check it out at ShowtimeFloors.com and work with a specialist to transform your space in as little as 1 day.
UW Credit Union presents the Student Athlete of the Week, supporting local student athletes as they grow on the field, in the classroom, and in the community. UW Credit Union is here for every you. Learn more at uwcu.org. Here's Ashton Rotman with the UW Credit Union Student Athlete of the Week.
This week's UW Credit Union Student Athlete of the Week is Dalton Reindell of Grafton High School. The senior linebacker making the play of the game on Friday night in state semifinal action against Stoughton, with the fourth quarter reaching crunch time and just a 4-point lead for Grafton. Rindell picked off a Stoughton pass and took it 35 yards to the house for a game-sealing pick-six score. The Blackhawks 17-6 win punched a ticket to the Division III title game, and that's their first appearance at state in 40 seasons. Rindell is also a two-sport athlete, lettering as a wrestler for Grafton in his offseason from football. Congratulations to Dalton Rindell as this week's UW Credit Union Student Athlete of the Week, and good luck this week at the state title game.
Ever wonder how the best athletes find the power to jump higher, cut quicker, skate smoother, drive farther, and stick the landing? At Prevea Orthopedics in Green Bay, we know power starts with the hips. That's why Dr. Michael Ryan and our team of experts provide comprehensive and advanced expertise in hip care, unlike anywhere else. Come to Prevea Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, where we can preserve your hips so you can pursue your goals. Prevea Orthopedics, specializing in you.
Circus Sports is now available at American Place. Bet on your favorite Milwaukee and Wisconsin teams, from Wisconsin football and basketball to all the Milwaukee basketball action, as well as more games nationwide. The Circus Sportsbook at American Place has 36 TVs, so you won't miss any of the action. And it's just 30 minutes from Kenosha and 45 minutes from Racine. For more information and to find out about their events, go to circusports.com. All Circus Sports bets must be placed in Illinois. If you or someone you know may have a problem with gambling, call 1-800-GAMBLER or text GAMB to 833-234.
That to-do list you have needs one more thing. Chill. It's an easy thing to do. Just crack open an ice-cold Coors Light and chill. Take the afternoon off and binge watch anything. Go to happy hour and stay for a couple hours. Who's counting anyways? Or hang out with just your dog, because you've had enough human interaction this week. Whatever you do it with a Coors Light. Mountain cold refreshment made to chill. 2020 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. Celebrate responsibly.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Brian and McGonigal weighing in. Hey, if you find something that sucks for 25 years, you hold on to that.
Yeah, that is very good point.
Because usually the sucking only happens before you get married, and then the sucking just stops.
We're going to get fired.
Yeah. On 94.5 ESPN.
Oh, they're going to try to kick a field goal.
Yeah.
Lorenz Plattner's going to kick a 32-yard field goal. It's in the middle of the field.
For the goal ball.
The lines are down. Good snap. Plattner's kick is up, and it is good! Lorenz Plattner from 32 yards out. And
Darlington.
Stratford's going to win back-to-back state championships, 10-7 over Darlington. What a ball game.
Cold-blooded Plattner splits the uprights and says, put 3 on my stats and give me the gold ball.
That's how it sounded on ESPN Madison yesterday. Shout out to my guy, Mike Padol.
He's the best.
Mike loves high school football.
I just want to tell Mike, ain't no way that's cold-blooded. I don't know what it is. When the guy who kicks it.
Okay, so that's what we want to talk about right now, because this is a cool high school story. Because I don't know, when I was in high school, we had a foreign exchange student who, like, he was on our team and we'd let him handle kickoffs, but we had a different guy that would do our extra points and field goals. Because a lot of times these foreign exchange students aren't familiar with our sports and all those things, but they want to go out and experience the culture, and it's fantastic. But this team yesterday, so Stratford, playing in the Division VI state championship game, their kicker, who's handled all the extra points and all that, Lorenz Plattner, is his name. And he had not attempted a field goal at all this year. Again, extra points, which are 20 yards in high school. Not that big of a deal. So yesterday, with less than 30 seconds left, he has a field goal blocked. 24-yarder blocked with 23 seconds left. Darlington decides to try to make something happen, tie ball game. They end up turning the ball over on a fumble. You get one. They have the ball left with 3 seconds. Try to get the ball in the end zone. Doesn't work. They get stopped at the 3. But Darlington gets called for a hold, defensive hold. So the game extends, but they had to bring the ball back to the 15 in order to accept and enforce the penalty. So apparently the team went, Coach, you got to let him try it again. Coach, you got to let him try it again. So he lets the German exchange student go out there and kick a game-winning field goal to win state. And here's what he had to say, courtesy of, this is WKOW in Madison and their sports director, Carly Murata.
Yeah, Lawrence came from Germany to America. He said he played 5 years of soccer in Germany. Comes here, the hero of the state championship game. Lawrence, tell me how you are feeling.
I can just say I'm running out of breath right now. I don't really know what to say, but I thank the holder, I thank the line, I thank everyone in the team for such an amazing experience for me. And of course, all the Stratford fans in the back, I thank all of them. And yeah, I just thank.
So you miss the first field goal, and then you have to come out and do another one, and you know it's to win it again. What are you telling yourself after you just missed the first one?
I have it written out here, just like practice. I thought just like practice, just do it like practice, because we practiced hard last week. I practiced my kicks, and I really thought I'm gonna miss this one, but I made it. So happy right now.
An amazing story. Did you ever expect this to be your experience?
This is my new favorite high school player of all time.
What do you mean high school player? That's the greatest quote ever. Ever. You find me another one that said, I thought I was going to miss it.
But I didn't.
Never.
I'm so happy right now.
And he gave us all the other thing about, he could have left it like practice. But no, in the end, he had to say, I thought that's just so un-American.
Not just I thought I was going to miss it. I really thought I was going to miss it. Like, it's not enough. He's got to throw the qualifier in there of, I really thought I was going to miss it, but I didn't.
After he explained why he thought he could make it.
Oh, it's so good. Yeah, congratulations to Lawrence Plattner. Congratulations to Stratford winning the Division VI state championship yesterday with, again, you're not going to top that. You're not going to top that story.
No,
German
it's the
foreign
greatest
exchange
quote
student
ever.
Who gets a kick blocked and then somehow miraculously gets another opportunity in an untimed down, and he makes it, despite not thinking he was going to make it. Make sure if you want to listen to those high school games, check them out, WisconsinOnDemand.com. Madison, once again, they have the Division 3, 2, and 1 games, and myself, Mike Padol, will be doing that Division 1 game for 100.5 ESPN in Madison. That'll kick right around 4:05. Packers have a game kicking off on Sunday. I don't have faith in this defense, and Joe Barry doesn't make it better. We'll listen to some of his quotes coming up next. Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
It's a slow go right now on 894 North. The two left lanes are blocked near the zoo due to a crash. Crews continuing their cleanup work, and it has backups extended all the way towards the Hale. In fact, even to 92nd Street as you head on 894 West. So just be mindful, there is still traffic flow through the zoo. It's just going to be a bit slow. Also, a slow spot on 94 East and West from about 70th to the Marquette, and on 43 South from Silver Spring all the way down to Fond du Lac Avenue. It will be a slow go, adding about an extra 10 minutes on your drive from Brown Deer into downtown. Traffic is brought to you by Land Rover Waukesha. Check out the new full-size 2023 Defender 130 with seating for up to 8 passengers. Go to LandRoverWaukesha.com. And a check of the Storm Team forecast for today: sunny, cool, a high of 48, overnight clear and cold, a low down to 32. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Adam Roberts on 94.5 ESPN.
Weather is brought to you by Wisconsin Indoor Golf Center in Waukesha. Play Whistling Straits and other Pro Tour courses, whatever the weather is, in one of their 12 state-of-the-art simulators.
Some people just know that the best rate for you is a rate based on you with Allstate. Not one based on the tailgater who's testing the laws of physics with a table and a grill and 6 camping chairs all balanced on the roof of a small sedan. Make that 4 camping chairs. Why would you pay a rate based on anyone else? Get a rate based on you with DriveWise and the Allstate app.
Not available in California, subject to terms and conditions. Some states' participation in DriveWise allows Allstate to use your driving data for purposes of rating, while in some states, your rate could increase with high-risk driving. Safer drivers will save with DriveWise. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
At the Home Depot, Saturdays are about 2 things: easy cleanup with the Ryobi 18-volt ONE+ Whisper Series leaf blower, and football. That's right, Reese Davis. With variable speed, it has the power for when you really need it and just the right amount when you don't. And the ONE+ battery platform means you go from yard work to DIY in just a click, so you can get projects done faster. Which means more time for football. For football. Upgrade your Saturday with Ryobi and the Home Depot. How doers get more done.
Hey, this is Jen Latta. You're listening to 94.5 ESPN, WKTI, and WKTI HD Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station. Showtime. The right way to start your day. This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
She got me Cole Haan, the half shoe, half sneaker.
Okay.
Bougie. I have to wear a sweater.
A sweater?
Yes.
What the?
Well, you're preppy?
This is for you.
Oh, Georgie, you bought this for me? Oh, I knew you cared for me.
Yes, as you care for me.
Can I open it now?
Yes, of course. Go ahead. My guess is you're going to like this very much.
Is that cashmere?
Of course it's cashmere.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
I thought this was going to be a lot worse.
Yeah.
Well, as far as dressing up?
Yeah.
Gabe, a sweater.
A sweater? Sweater?
I have not worn a sweater since second grade pictures in grammar school, okay?
I had a feeling you would like it.
I get to try it on.
No, don't try it on now. Try it on later.
Oh, look. Oh, it fits beautiful.
All right, take it off. You're going to ruin it.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy, broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studios at the Avenue with Gabe Neitzel and Mark Chamorro. Here's Jen Latta.
Running her mouth, she wants to ride it, she's trying to hide it. I'm cool as ever, she's too excited. Her man
Homer, our cousin sub of the day. Jen traveling to James Madison's where game day is. Chewy's going to visit.
Does anybody know
Ohio
where James
State.
Madison is? I think Virginia.
Yeah, I didn't even know if Jen, just talking with her this week, she wasn't 100% sure where it was, just knew it was really hard to get to. There's not a direct flight into whatever town it happens to be. I believe it is
Harrisburg,
in
Virginia.
Yeah, it's in Harrisburg. Just tough to get to. But they're a great story in college football, so you can check out the stories she'll have available tomorrow morning, College Game Day on ESPN. A big story throughout the course of this week has been the Packers and specifically their run defense. Monday, we had Matt LaFleur deciding he wanted to get into a semantics argument about whether or not outside linebackers are defensive linemen, missing the larger point of, well, you had nickel on the field on 1st and goal from the 4. How do you expect to stop the run nickel from the goal line? Well, Joe Barry, he decided to step up. He had an explanation apparently yesterday saying you should be able to stop the run in the nickel formation.
I firmly believe that, when you are in nickel and you're in solo gap defense, you should be able to stop the run, but you still got to get off blocks. You still, got to keep your feet. You still have to, when an opportunity comes about, you have to tackle.
Here's the problem with that. We had a head coach earlier this year, in Matt LaFleur, who said trying to do the same thing over and over again and expecting different results, the definition of insanity. And yet here we are with Joe Barry trying to defend himself 2.5 years into this, trying to stop the run while playing nickel all the time. It's just insane.
Well, no, and now that he actually has some defense, he doesn't even know how to use it. I can be Joe Barry. Hey, we didn't make that play right. We were 10th, and now we're 11th in the league in points given up. The essence of any defense is to not give up points. And yes, we misplayed that, but he has some support for what they're doing. The offense is not 11th best in the league. The problem with this team is the offense, as was the case last year relative to the way it's played. So, yes, why you can't say, we just messed up or whatever, but look at what we're doing. You want to give up points? I don't consider stopping the run maybe as much as you do. As long as we're not giving up points, that's the way I believe is best for the team, and so we can argue forever.
But the problem is with the Packers' schedule, they haven't played teams that can score points. So, that factors into them being 11th in the league.
That does.
Because I'll tell you this, Homer.
Yes.
After this weekend, ain't going to be 11th in points.
Well, okay, but then you have games later on.
Yeah, that again against craptastic teams.
Fine, then you don't. If your defense is that bad against, we've seen this with Joe Barry. So against some craptastic teams, they've been crap.
Yeah.
So there's no limit. There's no limit to how bad it can be with Joe Barry. But he has some evidence to support his approach, which he doesn't even use.
Yeah, it's if he is expecting to stop the run this week with Austin Eckler in nickel.
Well,
good luck to you.
We know this. He makes no adjustments to the team that he's playing. There are some exceptions, but very few.
Correct.
This is what we do.
Yep.
We don't care about giving up the run.
No, he does not.
Right.
You can't argue otherwise because over 2.5 years, the evidence is you don't care about stopping it.
Explain what you care about more and then stay with that. And now he's got 10th top 10. If you're top 10 in giving points up, you can win the Super Bowl.
Yeah, sure.
If your offense is how good it needs to be in the NFL. So it's.
But you don't. So
even when he does okay, he can't even.
I understand.
Defend it.
I understand, Homer, that statistically, this team is bordering a top 10 defense.
Yeah.
You watch them play every week.
Correct.
Are they a top 10 defense?
No. But you can't deny that they're limiting people to scoring. They're limiting and we'll see. Yes, the Chargers could put them up for 100, but they got the Giants, and you'd like to. So yes, if you can, the reality is this, and I should be Joe Barry. If we can finish 10th in points given up, you can win the Super Bowl. Look at the last 2 years. Both Kansas City and the Rams were like 13th or 14th in points given up. You know what they were in points scored? Like in the top 3 or 4.
Yeah.
So he amazes me, like, just to answer this question. He doesn't even have a good answer. You could say, well, the ends need to be in tighter or something. He's more concerned in that situation with giving up the pass.
Well,
right?
yeah, I guess. Well, because here's Barry trying to defend his run defense scheme this past Sunday against the Steelers after giving up 200 yards and allowing, again, on the one play everybody wants to talk about, which Chewy and I also talk about in this week's All 20 Chew, which is coming out in about an hour. Check out ESPN Milwaukee's YouTube page for Chewy's reaction to that play. But here's Barry trying to defend himself.
When you make a call, you got a 50-50 chance that it's going to be run or pass. So, we talk about all the time whether you're in split safety defense, where when you're in split safety defense and they do choose to run the ball, you're a safety short in the run fit. You have to defend the run with truly your front. The thing that was disappointing about those explosive runs that we gave up, we were in what we refer to as solo gap defense, meaning we're bringing a safety to the party. We're bringing a safety down. And when an offense is in a one-back formation, to the tight end side, there's 4 gaps you have to defend. Away from the tight end side, there's 3 gaps. So there's 7 gaps that you have to defend. Well, if you have 4 down linemen, 2 inside backers, and a safety down, you have 7 men for 7 gaps. And that was the thing that was, that was a bummer that on those explosive runs we were in, we were gapped out, as we call it. And whether we missed tackles, we missed, we had the most missed tackles of any game last Sunday. So that's a bad combination.
It's a bummer to me when you start your whole premise with, well, when you call a play, it's a 50-50 chance of run or pass.
I agree with that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
The dumbest.
What?
Because
what? Like, yeah, theoretically speaking, yes, there are 2 options for the offense, run or pass.
But it's never 50-50.
It's not how any of this works.
And it's removing the idea that the Steelers lined up in that formation, knowing the look they were going to get, knowing the single gap, knowing they were bringing the safety down. They knew 100% they were going to run the ball up the middle.
I know the Packers defense is doing research. I know they're getting printed out reports about tendencies and all that sort of thing.
You didn't use them.
But if you open up saying, well, it's 50-50, maybe they run, maybe they pass. If you open up any sort of statement with that, you're not paying attention to any of it.
Yeah, no, he has they make no adjustments to anything. They just don't do it. I mean, like the whole thing is the benefit defensively, isn't the number one benefit you try to do is to know what they're going to do so that it's not 50-50, that given the formation the offense has and the players, that I would think if you're a good defensive coordinator, you should know like 80-20, whether it's going to be a run or a pass, predict it. I mean, you still have the adjustments of the players.
Sure. Tony Romo does it from the box. Yeah. He does it from Homer's spot.
Yeah. Chewy, I mean, I have sat next to Chewy during one of Craig's Super Bowl parties like years ago, and Chewy can do the same thing.
Yeah.
He's like, okay, well, watch this. Here's what they're going to do.
Right.
And then the snap happens. I go, oh.
Plus,
I'm not leaving my seat.
I didn't have any of the
Staying
reporters
right here.
say it, but Bulaga looked at the stat where it was 3.5 yards on average.
Before he was touched.
Right. And I go, well, what's the norm? He goes, when I played, if we got 2, we thought it was a Hall of Fame. He couldn't comprehend how you could get that many yards. I mean, he almost was saying, did they have 11 players on the, like, you can't. So
usually when a coach speaks, and the coordinators and assistant coaches are available once a week, every Thursday, shouldn't you feel better? Like, Joe Barry has not made anything better every time he opens up his mouth.
I agree.
And I would think the more he talks, the more he's got to be talking about himself. And I've done like just circles on this topic in my head of, is Matt LaFleur want Joe Barry back? Should Joe Barry be back? And all these different things throughout the course of the week. Because the way that LaFleur defended him earlier this week makes me think that Joe Barry is going to be back. But the way that Joe Barry's just spoke there, and I understand he doesn't have a say in the coaching staff, but don't you think that Brian Gutekunst would want Joe Barry gone? Because if you listen to Joe Barry speak, oh, this is the defense we had. You know, we've got one guy for every gap. Okay, so now the players aren't any good, and the guy responsible for the players is Brian Gutekunst, so it's his fault, not your fault. You've got him in the right spots.
I don't have an answer, but I know one thing for sure. He refuses to tell people the truth. He's afraid, for some reason, to explain his defense and what he does. Because
there's no explanation for it.
Right, because it can't be that stupid.
Well, you can't.
You know, if a guy was a defensive coordinator and he said, you know, every play it's 50-50, come on in, you're fired. I mean, that's the basic, it's a violation of so he can't believe that. Now, so I want to say, Joe, well, why do you say that? What are you scared? I think he's scared to say, I don't give a damn about the run.
It's like Dame Lillard going to the line and go, well, it's 50-50, he makes or not.
Exactly.
There's only 2 options.
Yes.
Either he makes it or he misses it.
No. You know what that is? We're on defense, and we foul Lillard. They go, what'd you foul? We foul him every time. 50-50 when he goes to the line. No, you can't. That's what basically Joe Barry's saying.
Yes.
This is what we do. Would you think of fouling someone who shoots less? No, it's 50-50.
What? Even if you get into the weeds of what he's saying in the single gap and bringing a safety down, the Steelers had Darnell Washington on the field, who is 6'7", 270 pounds.
Yeah, he's another offensive lineman.
That's just another offensive tackle. So now you're putting your safety in a one-on-one matchup against a guy, and you expect him to win? You expect Isaiah McDuffie to beat the right guard? Like, it doesn't make sense. No matter how you break it down, he didn't have the right play or the right call there. You need to overload.
I want him to somehow do this. Now, tell me how it could be worked out where you're playing against Joe Barry or it's a practice. You have 9 offensive linemen, a quarterback, and a running back. Hey, Joe, is it 50-50? That's what I would do if I was on
He would say yes.
I don't know what he would say. I'd just be having fun with it.
Goodness. 800-990-3776. Joe in Manitowoc saying, no positivity Friday today.
Oh, crap.
Yeah.
I have positivity.
I mean, we had the we did this thing with the kicker.
That's the greatest.
Yeah.
No, I think that Jordan Love could, if they win this game, Jordan Love puts up some points, this would be huge for him to beat the team that has the great young quarterback.
Well, so you fundamentally disagree with somebody else who was on the Homer Hour, who I thought had the line of the week. We'll get into that coming up next here.
I know that line.
On Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. But the best place to shop for diamond engagement rings in Milwaukee, of course, it's only at the Jewelry Center. Their team of specialists will help you bring her dream ring to life. They did for me. I kind of had an idea of what I wanted to go with, worked with the team at the Jewelry Center, and ended up with the perfect ring when it came time to propose to my wife. And if you're not somebody like that, well, maybe you can bring in some ideas. Look on our Pinterest board. And the Jewelry Center team, the team that Dean has assembled over there, they're fantastic. They'll be able to take care of the rest. Maybe you're not in the ring, in the ring business. You're not looking for an engagement ring, but you're looking to gift some stud earrings this holiday season. Jewelry Center has options, 2, 3, 4 karat total weight diamonds. And of course, they have lab grown and naturally mined. Always have options at the Jewelry Center. Learn more about the diamond jewelry selection. Shop TJC.com or stop in at any one of the 3 Jewelry Center locations in Brookfield, Greenfield, or in Burlington and tell them that Chewy and Gabe sent you.
Full show podcasts, interviews, and special content is available right now at WisconsinOnDemand.com. This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy on 94.5 ESPN.
Good news from 894 North. The accident that had closed the two left lanes as you head towards the zoo, that has been cleared up. And so the backups on 894 North will start to slowly work themselves out. It'll still be a bit slow still from the Hale to the zoo, but that should work itself out probably within the next half hour or so. Also slow on 94 from the Marquette to about the stadium heading eastbound, and south on 43 from near Hampton all the way to Fond du Lac Avenue. Still a slow drive right now from Brown Deer to downtown. It's an 18-minute commute. And a check of the Storm Team forecast for today. Sunny, quite cool, a high of 48. Clear and cold overnight tonight, down to 32 for the overnight low. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Adam Roberts on 94.5 ESPN.
Your next hangout spot is found right in Waukesha. The Q Club of Wisconsin is the perfect place to catch a game, play some games, and grab a drink. Bocce courts, dartboards, foosball tables, and of course, pool tables, 10 of them. Plus, the Q Club of Wisconsin has its best fish fries on Wednesdays and Friday nights. And you know they pilot high. Check out live music on Saturday and stop in for brunch every weekend starting at 9 a.m. It's all happening at the Q Club of Wisconsin on North Grandview Boulevard in Waukesha. Visit QClubWI.com or like them on Facebook.
Hey, it's Gabe Neitzel from ESPN Milwaukee's Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. And you know that X-Golf is the place to work on your game this offseason. Convenient locations, Brookfield, Mequon, also inside American Family Field. Not only do they have the state-of-the-art simulators to give you all the information you need, but X-Golf is also a great place to catch the game. Whether we're talking about college or pro football, college hoops, pro hoops, once that season really gets rolling, X-Golf is the place to go with a great food menu and great bar options. Book your tee time today at xgolfbrookfield.com or xgolfmequon.com.
'Tis the season for celebrating at St. Kate the Arts Hotel. Join them all throughout the holiday season for special events to get you in the festive mood. From spectacular brunch events to a holiday marketplace to one-of-a-kind dinner and a show experiences, St. Kate has a celebration happening nearly every week through the holiday season. Make a night of it and extend the experience by booking an overnight stay at the hotel. Special packages are now available. Make your plans today to celebrate the holidays with St. Kate. Learn more by visiting stkatearts.com/holidays.
Q Club of Wisconsin is a hangout spot for watching sports, playing games, and having some drinks. Mike, what do you have going on over there?
That's right, Gary. We've got so much going on here. And of course, you know we're your home for green and gold games every week. Plus, book our VIP area for any of your parties, which includes a private pool table, 2 shuffleboard tables, and 4 dartboards. And of course, our fish fry piled high on Wednesdays and Fridays.
All happening at the Q Club of Wisconsin, North Grandview Boulevard in Waukesha. Check out QClubofWisconsin.com.
I'm Dr. Chris Walsh from the Metropolitan Urology Group, where our board-certified physicians treat a wide range of men's health issues, from prostate symptoms to erectile dysfunction. A majority of treatments can be done in the office or as an outpatient. Don't play games with your health. Call us today at 414-476-0430.
Go Urology, Metro Urology. Real doctors, real solutions.
Learn more at GoUrology.com.
The all-new Potawatomi Casino Hotel has something you gotta see. Play more slots and games, and you could say, "Show me the money," to reveal up to 10 grand each Thursday. 800,000 in prizes is up for grabs. 40 winners each week. This October and November at Potawatomi, Milwaukee, when you're ready to win, just say, "Show me the money." More info at paysbig.com. Must be 21 years old and a club member to play.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Jen, has college football gotten a little sleazy? Where you can recruit
a little?
No, I'm saying from the standpoint, it used to be. That was good.
On 94.5 ESPN.
Are you listening?
Packers Chargers coming up on Sunday. Make sure you tune in. Homer's guy, Brian Bulaga, going to be a part of Green Bay Game Day live from the Tundra Trio up in Green Bay. And then Homer, myself, Tausch, going to be hanging out with you after the game for Green Bay game night. You can always react to a Packers win or a Packers loss. So although I think a lot of us are leaning towards Packers loss, and that includes Tim Van Voren, who joins Homer each and every Wednesday, a part of the Homer Hour. I was driving in my car, and I heard TVV deliver quite possibly the line of the week.
How many points do the Packers have to score to beat the Chargers?
Not
30,
more than they
28?
can. More than they can. I mean, they're averaging, about 19 points, 20 points a game.
What? How can you say that?
More than they can was quite possibly, just in the way only TVV can, was just so blunt and to the points.
Yes, but kindly stated.
Because and that's the one thing, even though we walked away from Sunday's game feeling better about Jordan Love and him getting close to that 300-yard game, something that hasn't happened in nearly 2 years for the Green Bay Packers, a 300-yard passing game, they still only scored 19 points. And that's been their issue ever since week 2. They haven't gotten past the 20-point threshold. They haven't scored 3 touchdowns in a game. And to me, that's the next step for Jordan Love. Can you win a shootout? Because that's what you're probably going to have to do over the course of the next 3 games. Because you're playing 3 offenses, and I understand that the Chiefs have struggled, but they still have Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid and Travis Kelce. I would assume that they're going to find a way to put up points. Are you able, if one of those 3 games turns into a shootout, can you win? Right now, the answer for the Packers is no. So that's the next step for Jordan Love.
Yeah.
Is to be able to translate that 289 yards into more touchdowns.
Yeah, I didn't emphasize enough that Jordan Love leads the NFL in 30-yard completions. Number 1 in the league.
How many does he have?
Number 1, 17. And when I saw that, I thought, I must be watching the wrong team. So Reed has 7.
Yep.
Musgrave has 4. So, yeah, he leads the league. Stafford is 2nd. Jordan Love leads the league in 30-yard plus passes.
Which doesn't make sense to me.
That makes no sense. And they can't get to 20 points.
They can't get to 20 points. He can't get to 300 yards passing. Like, it just doesn't make any sense.
Just the deep ball. They go to it so much. It is in seemingly every set of downs.
Yes, that's correct.
You know how they get there? They break the 20-point threshold. It's Keyshawn Nixon returning a kick for a touchdown. That's how they get there.
Yeah, or
like a pick six.
Defense,
yeah.
Something.
Yeah, it's
they've had so few turnovers.
In order for the Packers to beat the Chargers, yes, I think it's either a defensive or a special teams touchdown. They'll need that because the offense is just too inconsistent at this point. 800-990-3776. Let's go to Rocky in Sheboygan. Rocky, you're on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy with Cousin Sub of the Day, Homer.
Homer and the Goose.
What's up, buddy?
I still remember your guys' show where Homer tried to get you a nickname.
But anyhow, I remember that too.
It's true. Yes, Flash.
we have to come to a realization that nobody on the coaching staff or the GM are going anywhere because Matt LaFleur is not going to fire Joe Barry Carroll. Brian Gutekunst doesn't have the authority to tell Matt LaFleur either he goes or you go. And Mark Murphy is so caught up in his silos that he's just going to sit back and let whatever happens because he's kind of like a manager that's in the last year of his contract. I don't think he really cares. He's just taking it all in. And the best thing Mark Murphy can do for this organization is retire at the end of the season.
Well, that's not going to happen. I would think the only possibility as far as LaFleur is if he's worried about his, not just necessarily in Green Bay, but his future as a head coach and whether that would require him to fire or change with defensive coordinator.
I guess where I disagree with Rocky is I think Mark Murphy cares. I think Mark Murphy cares a lot. I think that's led him to make some tough decisions and probably some bad decisions in terms of doing the structure the way he set it up. And I honestly have no idea, because the one thing I know for sure about Mark Murphy is the dude's got an ego.
Yes.
Because you have to if you're opening up and announce, hey, here's our new head coach. I'm going to speak for 20 minutes before we get to him. So is that ego going to have him go, man, things are going poorly. How do I want these last couple of years to be remembered? Do I step in? Do I fire the coach and then hire a new one and set up whoever the next president is going to be? Or do I allow that person to do it? That's the biggest question to me from Mark Murphy is he going to overreact or react at all over the next 2 seasons before he has to retire? Because again, he has the entire offseason before 2020. He has to retire in July of 25.
Yes.
So I don't know if he's going to step in after this season or after next season.
Not
if things are
do
going to
after this season.
I would agree. I think that just it's part of the plan. We lost Aaron Rodgers. It's a young team. I'm going to give these guys a little bit more time. But
the key will be after the 24 season.
But by that time, you would think, and maybe it's not announced, but by that time, by January 2025, you would think that the next president is already decided on.
It might be, but that doesn't mean that Murphy wouldn't, as you just alluded to, might still think that he's best qualified to set it up well for the next person. I'm doing them a favor because I'm taking care of stuff. I've been doing this for so long. I mean, the person taking over, I guess it depends who that person was.
I think it's going to be policy.
You said best. You don't know how Murphy would view that.
Yeah. I don't know what his...
He certainly has the ego to where it's possible to me that he could make the change for the next person.
Correct. This is how I want to be remembered, because he also took over a team that had a general manager and a head coach already in place. Those decisions were made by Bob Harlan. Well, not by Bob, but Bob had hired Ted, and then Ted had hired Mike McCarthy.
Right, and Murphy has a Super Bowl, so he's in the club.
Yep.
That doesn't answer what we're both asking, because there's actions that there are actions that he's made that would justify going either way.
800-990-3776. More of your calls. We have a text here as well that I want us to dive into. That's coming up next on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. But I want to let you know, because after today, the weather looks like it's going to get cold, and it's going to be tough to get those get those clubs out and play golf outside. But X Golf at American Family Field is open all winter long. It's overlooking left field in American Family Field. If you're looking for a place to improve your game this year, X Golf at American Family Field is the place to do it. Get a lesson with their PGA head pro in Andy Barrett. Or maybe you're looking for a big event to throw. This is an amazing space. Great food inside American Family Field. If you haven't checked it out, maybe go check it out. Have some of the food for lunch. Get some swings in over your lunch break. Conveniently located inside American Family Field. And as I mentioned, open all winter long. Book your sim today at xgolfamfamfield.com. And gift cards are available. Perfect stocking stuffer as we get to the holiday season as well. xgolfamfamfield.com.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy continues next on 94.5 ESPN.
Good news from 894 North. The accident that had closed the 2 left lanes as you head towards the zoo, that has been cleared up. And so the backups on 894 North will start to slowly work themselves out. It'll still be a bit slow still from the Hale to the zoo, but that should work itself out probably within the next half hour or so. Also slow on 94 from the Marquette to about the stadium heading eastbound, and south on 43 from near Hampton all the way to Fond du Lac Avenue. Still a slow drive right now from Brown Deer to downtown. It's an 18-minute commute. And a check of the Storm Team forecast for today. Sunny, quite cool, a high of 48. Clear and cold overnight tonight, down to 32 for the overnight low. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Adam Roberts on 94.5 ESPN.
Weather is brought to you by Wisconsin Indoor Golf Center in Waukesha. Play Whistling Straits and other Pro Tour courses, whatever the weather is, in one of their 12 state-of-the-art simulators.
The only thing that tops our selection is your savings discount liquor.
Thanksgiving is almost here. What are you bringing to the table? Hi, this is Marie from Discount Liquor. Pairing the right wine with your Thanksgiving dinner can turn your meal into a celebration. But you don't have to be an expert to find the right wine. That's what our knowledgeable staff is here for. With over 8,000 varieties of wine, Discount Liquor can help you choose between a light, fruity Pinot Grigio, a big, luscious Cabernet, or anything in between, all at the lowest prices in town. Visit us today at 51st in Oklahoma and Milwaukee, and on Barstow and Main in downtown Waukesha. Voted best liquor store again.
The only thing that tops our selection is your savings. Discount Liquor.
Check out all of our weekly specials at discountliquorinc.com. And from our family to yours, have a happy and safe Thanksgiving.
Discount Liquor.
Hi everyone, John Miller here from PDS, a Converge company. PDS has been providing technology solutions and transforming IT for area companies for over 30 years. Today, we are helping organizations integrate digital workplace strategies that are giving today's worker the true ability to work from anywhere as they balance work and life both securely and productively. And as HP's largest partner in the area, our combined solutions have never been more important. If you're struggling with this, know we stand ready to help. From ideation to transformation, we can help you evolve your work from anywhere strategy. Learn more at pdsit.net.
You already know Prize Picks is the most fun you'll have this football season. But now you can play during basketball season too. Just select 2 or more players, pick more or less on the projected stats, and place your entry. You could turn $10 into $250. Right now, Prize Picks will match your first deposit up to $100. Visit prizepicks.com/playnow and use code PLAYNOW. That's code PLAYNOW at prizepicks.com/playnow. Must be present in certain states. Visit prizepicks.com for restrictions and details.
At Navy Federal Credit Union, we want to share special thank you messages this Veterans Day. And who better to hear them from than your friends and family?
Happy Veterans Day to my husband, Timothy Golden. We are so proud of you.
I'd like to shout out Brendan Barrett, who served as an infantryman in the U.S. Army.
Sending a happy Veterans Day shout out to my amazing husband, Shane Dixon.
And from all of us here, happy Veterans Day. Use hashtag Gratitude Mission to thank a veteran and honor their service. Your service inspires ours. Navy Federal Credit Union. Our members are the mission. Insured by NCUA.
Hey, this is the Fat Jack, and we are here another weekend, and a special one. It is $99 for all the football through Monday. It's your pre-Thanksgiving $99 special. Go to fatjacksports.com and get the entire weekend's football through Monday, only $99. Want to add hoops? It's as little as $40 for the entire weekend. Go to fatjacksports.com. We are having an unbelievable year, and we're going to win again this week. $99 everything through Monday at fatjacksports.com.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
How much will Angie let you grow a beard?
I would say for 3 months I have to keep a beard if I lose.
Okay, and Angie would allow you to have a beard for 3 months.
She doesn't run my life. Drop that.
Yeah.
On 94.5 ESPN.
Homer on Cousin Sub of the day. Jen on the way. I mean, by the way, we said the wrong name of the town that Jen is heading to.
Correction.
Yeah. James Madison is in Harrisonburg. Harrison.
Oh, that's a huge mistake.
Yeah, it's Sunburg.
You
Which
just
is
did-
just, well, you
you
can't.
just did a Carissa Thompson.
Well, no, you can't. No, you can't be. You can be Harrison. You can be Harrisburg. To be Harrisonburg?
Nobody knows where any of those cities are. It proves again. James Madison? Do you know when somebody
just
sees
saying-
that, the first thing they think is, they play football?
I'm just saying, in general, if you're naming a town, you can
Yes.
be Harrison, you can be Harrisburg, you can't be Harrisonburg.
I agree.
You can't do the sun and the berg. That's greedy. Just greedy.
But I haven't looked. I'd like to know who their coach is or what's the dynamics of what's going on. Because
Yeah, they're undefeated and trying to figure out. I think they've got, again, more litigation in the NCAA.
Right.
They're trying to sue their
I
way
know
into a bowl
Liberty's
game.
been good, but they've been good before.
Yeah.
I mean, Liberty's made a commitment to
Obviously,
college sports.
James Madison has as well. 800-990-3776. Packers-Chargers coming up this weekend. Alan has been patiently waiting on
Can
the
I
line.
ask you one question?
Yeah, sure. Before we
Did
get
James
down.
Madison beat Wisconsin?
I mean, probably.
You have to count for it.
Yeah. I mean, would Wisconsin be favored? Maybe. But right now, with the way Wisconsin's playing,
one team's ranked.
Anything's possible. That's all you need to know.
Yep.
And
All right.
one's fighting to make a bowl.
Yeah.
Alan in Milwaukee. Alan, you're on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy with Cousin Sub of the Day, Homer.
Hey, how's it going, y'all? That Badger subject is for another day.
Yeah,
well, no, the answer, I can make it real quick. It's real simple. Do you still believe in Luke Fickell? Yes or no? I do. Do you? Because if you don't, then you're scared it could be another Anderson. What was his first name, Coach? What was they brought him in? Gary Anderson. You know, Barry was amazed how good his defense was, and they played him, and it didn't fit, and it was a mess. But so I want to see what Fickell does, because I can't believe he's going to let everything stay the same, because it wouldn't admit the disaster this season has been. So do you still believe in him? Yes or no?
I mean, that's what happens when you hire a flash in the pan.
I take that as a no. All right, we can move on. Good, that's okay.
But I mean, to be fair to Fickell, he wasn't a flash in the pan. Yes, they flashed and made the college football playoff the 1 year, but they hung in that game. And Cincinnati had been good before and a little bit after. Were they a top 4 team in the country? No, they needed everything to fall in place to be a top 4
country. He understands the mentality. Having been, I mean, he's
at Ohio State.
Yes.
Yeah. So I still believe in Fickell right now. I'm not going to pull the plug after 8-9 games, whatever it is. Your question, Alan.
My question is, so I do agree with the last caller saying that we have to realize nobody's going anywhere. But the thing I wanted to ask is to expand on that, is that do we have to get used to an idea that possibly Goody could be the replacement for Mark after he retires? Because typically in that position, sometimes they're bringing somebody from the outside, and sometimes it's somebody who knows the company better than anybody else, and he has been there for an extremely long time. So
0%
he could be
chance,
on the
less
short
than
list.
0% chance.
Yeah, that's not happening.
You don't have to worry about that.
Yeah, Goody's not going to be the president. Again,
is there a chance though that Goody gets back into the traditional general manager who gets to decide who the head coaches are in that way?
That's going to be interesting, because the favorite at this point, and I don't know if this is something Jason said or if if you start paying attention to this stuff, Ed Policy, who is the current COO and general counsel for the Packers, is kind of the favorite to step into that role. Now, who knows? I mean, it's not like Ed Policy is the COO who's given a bunch of press conferences. Hey, just in case you become the next president, how do you think what do you think the organizational structure of a football team should be? Like, nobody can ask Ed Policy that. But if Policy ends up being the guy, I don't know. I mean, can you, with these two, the way they were hired, can you reorganize that? Yes. Would it be awkward? Probably. I mean, the best thing to do is one or the other gets fired. I mean, and probably it would have to be Goody, and then you reorganize it. I think but Goody's not going to be the president. Again, it seems that Ed Policy is the favorite at this point.
I'm looking up his Wikipedia page.
Ed Policy?
Yes, it says he played youth football for the Poland Bulldogs. I don't know that I've ever seen any mention of youth football ever in the history. He then went on and
did they just say what the team's record was? Were they any good?
No, I think
what position did he play?
He went to Notre Dame and Stanford Law School. But yeah, he's been with the Packers for a number of years. I think. Mm-hmm. Since 2012.
And of course, his family's been in the football industry for a while.
Yep. No, he's in the club. He fits.
Yeah, he would make sense as kind of that next one in line. Along the same lines of the question that Alan in Milwaukee was asking, Adam in the Unknown hit us up on the talk and text line, 800-990-3776. If you could fire only one, is it Goody or Barry? The other stays at least another year. That's easy for me. That's so easy. It's the easiest question you could possibly ask, Adam.
Yeah.
It's Joe Barry.
Right. That's said by someone who doesn't like Goody. Yeah. If you compare them, and I get that. There's Goody's... You get all these draft choices if they do it well and lose games. But if you don't believe in Goody picking them, then...
And there's a conversation to be had there.
Yes.
I mean, Chewy and I, not that long ago, went through the past draft classes, and everybody was very high on last year's draft class.
Not so much.
And they're souring on last year's draft class very quickly.
We know one thing. He's not special. I mean, you could get rid of Goody, and some people would argue, but nobody can say it's a horrible decision. Because he really hasn't done anything. If Jordan Love turns out good, then you have. But he brought all the free agents in the first year, and that really helped for the defense. But aside from that, what's special about,
I mean, I guess this isn't special, but his legacy very well could be A general manager who traded Hall of Famers in back-to-back offseasons.
Oh, yeah, that's it. Unless he wins something, yes, without a doubt.
Yeah, unless Jordan Love turns out to be a special quarterback that you think you can win a Super Bowl with, that's going to be the legacy of
And you
Brian
don't have
Gutekunst.
anything on the other end, the pluses. Well, they won 13 games. He improved the defense. They won 13 games 3 years in a row. Yeah, they never even made a Super Bowl. There's no what's at the top of his resume.
Yeah, going to back-to-back NFC Championship games.
Okay.
And again, that was on the backs of not a lot of the players that he drafted.
Correct.
And when you start diving into his draft classes, and I know Jen had the stat earlier about first-round picks and signing second contracts, there's not a lot of his guys that are signing second contracts with the Packers. Again, that could change, and the problem, I approached this year's draft class, with cautious optimism, because while I do like Jaden Reed and I like Dontavian Wicks, and I believe that that's the future of the wide receiver position for the Packers, and Luke Musgrave has looked good, and it seems like he's maybe hitting on some of these guys. We'll have to wait to see with Lucas Van Ness, because he's someone who's developing. We kind of felt the same way about Dobbs and Watson last year, did we not?
Yep, exactly.
And then they didn't really take that next step forward this year. And maybe they still do in year 3. Who knows? Because they're clearly not going to give up on either one of those guys.
Mm-hmm.
But the resume for Brian Gutekunst isn't overwhelmingly strong where he's above reproach.
Right. Not everybody says he should be fired. But if he got fired, there wouldn't be a large group going, that's the stupidest decision they ever made.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, correct. And I'll tell you what, Brian Bulaga seems to be a believer in Matt LaFleur.
Yes.
Because I know this was yesterday on the Homer Hour yesterday, and it's a little bit of a longer clip. But if you're looking at people, in the organization, who's going to be here in the future, how does Matt LaFleur factor in?
I was surprised how strong he was.
And again, in Bulaga, as a veteran player who played for Matt LaFleur, nothing but high praise for him yesterday on the Homer Hour.
I would imagine LaFleur does feel that, hey, man, this is a young roster. This team is hard to win with right now. But I don't think he's looking at it as it's negatively impacting his resume, because I think he's going to be the Packers head coach for a long time. I really do. I think he's a good football coach.
Whoa, hold on. We got to write this down.
So I think he's a good football coach.
Okay.
I think he's a good football coach. I think he's a good guy to lead a football team. I enjoyed my time with him. I really enjoyed.
What was the best part about him? Best part about him, because you played for various coaches at many levels. Best part about LaFleur as a football coach.
As a football coach? Well, I guess I look at it differently, because I thought what he did, especially because our team was so bad the 2 prior years in 18 and 17, to me, what he came in and did was make it fun again, right? Like he made the locker room, he made the building, he made everything seem more fun again. Going out on the practice field was fun again. The practices were fun again. Because we weren't having much fun in 18 and 17. We just weren't. We were playing bad. So for a coach to be able to come in to a losing culture, and not that Green Bay was a losing culture, it never was when you have Aaron at the helm, but you have 2 back-to-back, losing seasons with a Hall of Fame quarterback. You're starting to build a little bit of a losing culture there. Like, that's no good. So for him to come in, turn that thing around, and get everyone to start enjoying playing the game again.
How did he do that?
I think that's huge to have a former player kind of give that type of endorsement for Matt LaFleur.
Yes, totally.
And it makes me think that, again, youth is such a huge issue, and that these guys aren't necessarily being, it's not poor coaching, it's just young guys who are having a hard time grasping that coaching. We did have a question on the poll earlier today that we are going to answer coming up next, and that is, can you still be a dude at 69 years old? We'll find that out coming up next on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. Doesn't matter what age you are, low testosterone can be an issue with any guy. Mentality, local healthcare facility specifically dedicated to helping men feel and perform at their very best. Look, I used Mentality, and I didn't even realize I was dealing with low testosterone. I thought it was just, okay, I'm getting up, I'm doing the morning show, I'm a little more tired throughout the course of the day, and we'd been working with Mentality for a little bit, and they offered, hey, you want to get the blood panel done? Just, kind of see how our process works? Yeah, sure, I'll go through it. Results came back, testosterone levels were low, and now I'm working with Mentality on a customized testosterone treatment plan just for me. So I've got that energy to attack the day and do all the different things that I need to do in order to get through my day. So go to lowtusa.com. Mentality allows treatment to fit into every guy's lifestyle. Learn more about Mentality at lowtusa.com.
More Jen, Gabe, and Chewy coming up on 94.5 ESPN.
'Tis the season for celebrating at St. Kate the Arts Hotel. Join them throughout the holiday season for special events to get you in the festive mood. From spectacular brunch events to a holiday marketplace to a one-of-a-kind dinner and a show experience, St. Kate has a celebration happening nearly every week through the holiday season. Make a night of it and extend the experience by booking an overnight stay at the hotel. Special packages are now available. Make your plans today to celebrate the holiday with St. Kate. Learn more by visiting stkatearts.com/holidays, stkatearts.com/holidays. We can't go into next week without talking about Thanksgiving, and there's always a debate about the food, whether you love it or you hate it. Here with us today is Sarah Neubauer from Potawatomi Casino Hotel. Hopefully she can help us with this debate. What kind of Thanksgiving specials are we going to see at Potawatomi, Sarah?
So now through Thanksgiving Day, get pumpkin pies to go for just $10 each at Cream City Coffee Company and Minnie and Wow. And then we also have for Thanksgiving weekend, grab a specialty sandwich at Gilded Cleaver. This gobbler sandwich has carved roast turkey, cranberry chutney, stuffing, horseradish Dijon sauce, and it's served with a side of gravy and chips. And on Thanksgiving, we have a turkey buffet and Thanksgiving feast at Canal Street Cafe. And finally, we have a turkey porchetta special at Dream Dance Steakhouse, available only on Thanksgiving. This comes with roasted garlic and sage stuffing, roasted Brussels sprouts, whipped potatoes, candied sweet potatoes, cranberry orange relish, roasted turkey gravy, and a dessert choice of either a pumpkin spice creme brulee or apple crisp.
Okay, now my mouth is watering, so that's awesome. Thanksgiving can also be a sign of the times that fall is on its way out. Along with that, there are a few specials at Potawatomi you gotta try before it's too late. Tell us about those, Sarah.
Yeah, so the fall specials at Cream City Coffee Company are leaving after Thanksgiving. So get those pumpkin muffins and spice lattes before they're gone. And grab a bowl of bison chili over at the Gilded Cleaver that's located in our Potawatomi Marketplace. This special runs through the end of November. And last but not least, our caramel apple cake of the month, which has cinnamon frosting, apple filling, and salted caramel. This is available through November 30th and located at Minnie and Wow.
Now, these all sound like great things that you could go get and take to your Thanksgiving celebrations as well. It all sounds delicious and incredible. Where should everyone go to learn more?
Paysbig.com.
Paysbig.com.
Change your grocery game plan to locally owned Sentry Foods, home of the best meat, freshest produce, and tastiest treats. Now through Wednesday, save on 6 to 8 pack selected varieties Coke products or AHA sparkling water 4 for $17. 12 rolls selected varieties Scott Bath tissue $10.99. 48-ounce selected varieties Kemp's ice cream $3.99. 1%, 2% or skim gallon selected varieties Prairie Farms milk $3.99.
Look at those brats. You do tailgating right. Absolutely. Did you see the spread out there? You've got enough food to feed the entire lot. I'm splurging now and then hoping to win $700 in free groceries. $700? Yeah, it's all part of the 70th anniversary at Sentry Foods. No kidding. Next week, I'll do the shopping. Maybe I'll score $700 in groceries. All you need is the weekly code. It's on Sentry's Facebook or Instagram. Oh, I just remembered. I'll be out of town next week. Yeah, right, cheapskate.
Ends January 3rd.
Current Electric offers professional generator installation services to homes throughout Milwaukee and surrounding areas. With more and more energy needed to power our homes and businesses, blackouts are becoming an increasingly common occurrence. Whether they're due to unexpected storms, grid issues, or down power lines, it is both inconvenient and potentially dangerous to lose power. Let the superheroes from Current Electric find the perfect generator for your space. Go to callcurrent.com for more information. That's callcurrent.com.
You're listening to Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
And then you have Raj, who I didn't think he just didn't have the body type of a right tackle.
I have a question. I have a question. Who the hell are you talking about?
What's his name? Yash.
Raj?
Like, I was thinking, okay,
who's Raj? You tell us, buddy.
On 94.5 ESPN.
Save me, save me.
great to go into weekend with this song. And our question, the one question we put on the poll today.
The only one that matters.
Because this is Dude Friday. It's me, Chewy, Joshy hanging out. Homer wasn't sure if he was a dude. Thinks he's too old. So we asked, can you still be a dude at 69 years old? Homer says no. But the public says yes. 72% say yes, still a dude.
Save me. Yeah, because they can think of one. The guys on Twitter, yeah. What they up with?
Jeff Bridges.
The dude from
Yeah,
the Big
we
Lebowski.
said Euchre. All right, yeah.
Euchre's a dude.
I feel like football coaches lend themselves to being dudes even in their older age.
Yeah, like Bill Parcells.
That's a dude.
I may need a definition of dude then.
It's one of those things. You know it when you see it. Especially with you're rolling
I don't
in
think
here.
Bill Parcells is a dude.
Bill Belichick.
Or Bill Belichick, excuse me. What? Parcells might be, but not Belichick. Belichick's boring. Now, I know privately apparently he's not, but the impression that he gives in terms of how he does things in public.
Yeah, well, as Wisconsin Sports Tweets points out, the dude is attitude, not age. Mm-hmm. And look, you're rolling in here wearing a sharp Jordan Marquette basketball hoodie. That's a dude move.
Okay.
You're hip.
Okay, fine.
We beat him into submission.
Yes, you have. I'm not gonna. I'm pretty comfortable knowing who and what I am. But you guys want to run with that? Then you'll get me to. That'll guarantee that I retire.
Oh man, Greg in the 262 just being mean. You can be a dude, but Homer, no way. No, Homer's a dude.
Yes, that's fine.
No, Homer's a dude,
All right,
Greg.
Okay.
Homer, if you were to use one word to describe yourself, what would that be? Because dude clearly is an it. So there's got to be one thing in your head that explains you in a single word.
Well, I know it is. I'm a legend in my own mind. That's not a single word. That's actually
fair.
But if you're a legend in your own mind, you're a dude. You got the attitude of a dude.
If you're a legend in other people's mind, that makes you a dude.
No, but again, the dude's about the attitude.
Go up and say, "Hey, you know he's famous," and I go, "If you have to be told that someone is famous, they're not famous." No, that you don't decide if you're a dude. People decide if you're a dude, which we're doing now, right? Now you can decide it. That's fine, but that doesn't mean that counts, right?
Pete McGuanago wants to chime in with the one word to describe Homer.
Yeah.
Cheap.
We've got a celebrity who wants to add some dudes to the list here.
Clint Eastwood.
Oh, Jason Wilde.
Yes, good choice.
Morgan Freeman.
Great.
Dudes.
Paul Newman before he passed away.
Yeah, we're going to have all entertainers next.
You're an entertainer.
You're an edutainer. You said it yourself.
That is, yes. I stole that from my dad. He was the world's greatest edutainer. And when he sent us that, I go, "Dad, can I ask you a question?" He goes, "Sure." I go, "Who's second?" Who'd you pass? Just walked away.
No, I think Homer's a dude.
All right.
Right? Jason, you're with him, right? Homer's a
Sean
dude.
Connery, you can be old and be a dude.
Yeah, no.
I just want to take this opportunity before our show starts. Because I connected early because Joshy asked me to.
Sure is a dude.
Yeah, but he's not an old dude. He's just a middle-aged dude right now.
Okay.
We're talking about old dudes, and you're a dude. You are at your best when surrounded by Gabe and me.
Okay. I'll buy that.
And
I'll
Bulaga.
join that club.
And Bulaga.
And Bulaga, yes.
Homer, we
Sorry,
appreciate
didn't mean
you.
to crash your show.
Oh, no, we appreciate it, Jason. Wilde and Tausch, they're coming up next. Homer, appreciate you, bud.
Happy to do it.
Our primary slow spot on the system right now remains